Good morning. Welcome to our MOVE series. My name is Debbie Varney. I'm the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator with Memorial Health System. Most of you probably already know that. Sorry, but I am required to say that every video. Today I am bringing you an ab workout, or as we say now, since terminology has changed through the years, a core workout. Yes, I do have a weight bench here. You might not have one in your home, but what you can use is if you have a step bench that you could lie a mat on, or if you have a sturdy coffee table, not a flimsy one, that it is strong enough that you could lie on it, or everybody's got a bed. So what I'm gonna do off the edge of this weight bench, you could actually do on your bed. I will be holding the sides of the weight bench. You can hold the sheets on your bed, and you're going to need a weighted object. Like I've told you before, it doesn't have to be a dumbbell. Everything in your house has weight to it. So just get something, it's going to have some weight. We're gonna put it on our leg. We're gonna do a workout for our core. Now by core, I don't just mean, let's get a six-pack, baby. Core is the whole way around the center of the body, and that's where balance comes from. From the hips all the way up to the chest. That is our core. What we're going to do today is going to strengthen everything around there. You're also going to need some form of a stick. Broom handle works perfectly. So let's get started. We're going to start at the end of the bench or whatever it is that you're using. I do have my weighted object here, and I'm going to set it about 4 to 6 inches back from my knee. Never on the knee, but back from the knee, so it's on the quadricep. I'll lean back slightly, put my hand on that bench, holding me in place. I start out in this leaning back position. I lift the knee and I crunch. Now the leg that I'm lifting, if you notice, I am not touching the floor because that would give me complete release of that contraction. By keeping it from touching the floor, I have some form of contraction the entire set. Think about squeezing the abs when you come up. I have a lot of people that don't have that mind-body connection yet, and they say, how do I do that? Well, the best way to tighten those abs when you can't visually do that with your muscles is to squeeze your buns. If I squeeze my buns every time I come up, my abs tighten. Keep lifting. Now, of course, you're feeling this in the quadricep as well. It's not just for the abs. You know me, I love to multitask. Feel like I'm not doing any work at all if I'm not doing 5 things at one time. Feel that in that hip flexor, which is so important in keeping our balance, is keeping the hip flexor strong. All right, let's switch sides. Remember, 4 to 6 inches back. You're hanging on to your bed sheets, the side of your coffee table, or the side of the bench that you're using. And crunch and lift. Don't let that foot touch the floor. Squeeze the buns every time you come up. Lengthen that neck. Keep the shoulders down. Feel that crunch. Feel that quadricep. Feel that hip flexor. Strengthening your core is not just about being aesthetically pleasing. It's not just about getting a six-pack. You may never have a six-pack. Most people never do. But strengthening that core not only makes us feel better, but we are reducing our risk of falling when we have a strong core. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Blow out when you crunch up. Breathe in when you go back. All right. Now, of course, if you don't feel comfortable doing this on the edge of your bed, or if you don't have a very sturdy coffee table, or don't have access to a weight bench, or even a step bench that you can put a mat over, you can modify these by doing them just lying on the floor. Same thing, it's just going to hit the abs at a little bit different angle. I like to use a bench every now and then with my ab workouts, my core workouts, because when the legs are lower than the hips, it's a little bit more on those low abs that I'm always hearing from women they want to see change in. All right, I'm going to scoot out to the edge of the bench. Now I have this dumbbell between my thighs, my feet together. I'm using a 9-pound dumbbell. Really doesn't matter, just so you add a little extra weight. We're going to place both hands back, do a little bit of a lean. We lift and crunch. This isn't a big movement with the legs or with the crunch. It's just getting those feet off the ground with that added weight. Again, squeeze the buns. Squeeze the buns. That's what's contracting those abs. Definitely moving this dumbbell from point A to point B is working the abs and the hip flexors. Now, if you're feeling this in your back, come up a little higher. Don't make the crunch in the upper body quite so big. Try to keep those shoulders down, chest open. Notice I'm not counting. You just do what you can do, +1. All right, now we're going to move to the next one. We're going to be seated on the edge of the bench. Still going to need a weighted object. Putting weights with the core definitely is going to get you quicker results if you want to see some sort of aesthetic change. You don't have to add weight, but it does take the workout up to the next degree. So I'm going to slide all the way out to the end. Legs out on the floor. My butt is just coming off the edge of the bench. Ankles crossed. And I'm holding this weight above my chest. I crunch, and I keep that weight off of the chest. Don't let it lie on the chest. You hold it with your arms. Keep space between the chin and the chest. Again, you want to blow out at the point of most exertion. So that's when I crunch. Squeeze those buns every time to flatten the lower part of the abs. You don't have to blow out every time you crunch. You might start to hyperventilate if you're going too fast, but just make sure that you blow out at a point you're crunching up. Change that ankle placement. Keep that chin up, look at the ceiling. Now, if this bothers your neck, hold that dumbbell with one hand and place the fingers at the base of the skull, top of the neck. So with that breathing, just make sure that exhale, that blowing out is on a crunch upward. You can breathe in going up and down, but make sure when you exhale, it's going upward. All right, now we're going to make our way back up, and we are going to stand up. This is where you're going to need that stick. I have a shower rod. Shower rod, one of our members brought in from shoulder therapy, just to get that range of motion in the shoulders. So that's what I'm using. But any type of a broomstick is going to work for you. Piece of PVC pipe is great. You can even use a dowel rod. When you get more advanced at this, you can see we have weighted body bars. You can use that. I've done that in the past. Out at my family's gym, guys use a weighted barbell, 25 to 45 pounds. So whatever works best for you. We're going to put this along the tops of the shoulders, not against the neck. Get it down so it's running across the shoulders. Feet apart wide, squeeze the abs. I do have a little bit of play in my knees. I do not have my legs locked out. And we simply are twisting. Now, like I said, knees slightly relaxed. If you have a lot of back issues, this one you might have to shorten up the range of motion. But if you lift the rib cage, squeeze the abs and the buns, keep those knees relaxed, This should still be safe for you to do unless you've been told never to do any twisting movement. If you don't have back issues, you want to get warmed up first, and we already are, and then use the biggest range of motion you can. Now I'm doing this with control. I'm not flinging my body side to side. I'm contracting my abdominal muscles by squeezing my buns as well, keeping the knees relaxed, doing twisting side to side. Now, a few years back, when COVID hit, I decided I was going to compete in bodybuilding. I did, but unfortunately, COVID happened to everybody, and all the competitions, of course, were canceled. So that kind of messed up my entire year, and then I got away from it. But I used to do 300 of these a day. So that gives you an idea of how many you can build up to. I would not start with 300. I would start with maybe 50. That would be 1, 2, 2. But I used to do 300 a day. But that was after I already started my bodybuilding journey, so my body was prepared for that. Definitely will slim the waistline, that love handle area, and over time, if you can use a weighted bar, that even works better. So you judge how big that twist is going to be according to your back condition and back health. Knees are relaxed, abs are squeezing, belly button to that spine with this twisting going on. Make sure you're still breathing. All right, now we're going to go to the side and just to center. Right side only and back to center. You want to go to the side as far as you can, getting that rod, whatever it is you're holding, pointing directly up towards the ceiling. That's your goal, is to go that far and then back to center. Again, my knees are not locked out and my abs are squeezing tight to give my back support. Left side. And if you don't have a broom in your house, I don't understand why, but if you don't have a broom, you could use a bath towel. Just stretch it out, keep it nice and tight as you're doing this, but you can twist with a bath towel as well. Trying to get my right arm, as I'm bending to the left, the right arm pointing up directly towards the ceiling. Keeping those knees slightly relaxed, belly button to my spine. All right, now we're going to alternate side to side. Squeeze that belly button in tight. Found some different royalty-free music for you today. If you have not made videos before, you probably don't realize you can't use music that is out there. It's owned by somebody. You have to pay a royalty fee to use it. So there are artists out there that make music categorized as royalty-free that they allow anybody to use just to get their music out there. And then I can use that without having any penalties. It is checked every time it's posted on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. If they catch you, you can have some pretty hefty fines. Even if you type in there, I do not own the rights to this music. That does not make it okay to use it. So I have to really search for music. So I found some new stuff today. You never know as it changes what song's going to come up next. But I do appreciate the people that allow that. All right. How'd that feel? We have one more we're going to do. And this one is going to be a plank. Now, something that I have that you probably don't have in your home is a slider. They have these for furniture, much smaller, but actually that would work if you have those in your home. But if you don't have a slider, what I've used in my classes for years before I even knew these existed is a paper plate. A paper plate will work just the same as the slider. Now don't get out one of your regular dishes, use a paper plate. Like I said, even those small furniture sliders will work. You just have to make sure that all that's on it is the ball of the foot, which is really all I put on here anyhow. This is a more textured side, so my foot doesn't slide off. This is a slippery slide, so it will slide. So we're gonna do a plank off the end of your bench, your bed, a chair, a table, something that is about this height off the ground. I'm gonna put my slider back here. Now you wanna make sure that you have shoulders directly over wrists. I'm gonna put my right foot in the center of that slider. Now, I'm gonna get a little scooped out, hollowed out feeling, which means I'm not gonna let my pelvis hang. I pull it up, scooping out that midsection, pushing forward so I keep my shoulders over my wrists. Now this is a plank, and this might be all you wanna do, but to add a little bit more, we can slide in and pull that pelvis up by squeezing. Slide out. Slide in, pull that pelvis up by squeezing. Slide out. Pull up, get that scooped out feeling. Slide out. Pull up, squeeze those buns in, hold it. Slide out. Pull up, squeeze. Slide out. Notice my heels are not on the floor. Slide in and out. Slide in and out. So this is just a variation on a standard plank. One more with this leg. And now we're going to take that back there and we're going to switch it to the left side. And slide in and out. Pull that pelvis up, pull the pelvis forward, squeeze the buns. Now when you extend, don't let that pelvis drop. It is still scooped out and rounded, but I'm really tipping the pelvis and pulling in as I come in with that leg. Blowing out as I pull in, scoop up, one more. All right, guys, shake those arms out. Now, this was a core workout of 5 exercises. Like I said, you can do these from the floor. It doesn't have to be on a bench. But if you can get the hips higher than the feet, it concentrates more in the low abs. So that's what I wanted to focus on today. Adding weight also is going to get you results quicker. You're going to see change quicker. But you know my tagline, you do you, baby. You do what you're capable of doing. So modifications are always wonderful. Doing this from the floor may be where you want to start, because it is a little harder when you put yourself up on a higher level. I hope you enjoyed this today. Work that core. It's not about developing a six-pack, although you may. It's about quality of life. Also remember one of my taglines, quality of life. As we mature through time, our risk of falling gets greater. Keeping core stability will reduce your risk of falling, and you will live in more freedom, more joy, more stability of knowing you are doing something to lower that risk of falling. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Debbie Varney, Fitness and Wellness Coordinator with Memorial Health System. This is our Move series. I hope you move today, and I'll be back next Friday. Thank you. Bye-bye.